So one of the biggest problems with the CBD market, especially with pets right now, is research, like in general. But it's out there, right? It's out there. People are using it. It's working, getting great feedback on, other brands. But we've been working on our brand for over a year and a half because I wanted to make sure that people really liked it and it really helped their dogs. Otherwise, I was not going to put my name on the box. Well, after a year and a half, my name is on the box. And there's a reason I put it on the box. It's because I believe in it. I use it with my own dogs. So, one of the biggest problems right out of the gate with a lot of other competitors was that a lot of times with the droppers, number one, if you take a dropper out and you go at their mouth, right? Like if you go at their face with this dropper, dogs are like, oh. Another issue that people had was that if it's a full or broad spectrum, then it was really bitter, right? It had a very earthy taste, and so the dogs didn't want it. So people would take it and they drop it on their food, which is fine. That's not a problem. But whenever they do that, then the dog has to actually eat it, digest it, go into their system, and hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours later before we actually saw, any results from it. So how do we get it into their mouth, into their gums, directly into the bloodstream so it can work within 15 or 20 minutes, right? I mean, that's our goal. And that's what we spent the last year and a half trying to figure out. So all of that said, we're using what's called an isolate, which means we're able to make sure there is zero THC in this product. Now, I'm not going to say that I've had dogs in the past that probably could use a little THC, but this one doesn't have any in it. So there is zero side effects. Like if you overdose on this CBD, your dog overdoses, they're just going to get sleepy, which in order to help a lot of the problems, that's what's happening. So here's what we did. We do still have a dropper because I think it's important that some dogs don't love, licking a ball. Yeah, I mean, they just don't. It's kind of crazy. But my dogs, they love it. They love it. What can I say? So the way it works is we've measured how many milliliters are per lick. So you just take this bottle for the size of your dog, turn it upside down, dog licks the roller ball, you count the number of licks, and then you know exactly what your dog is taking in. Then you wait 15, 20 minutes, see if you get the desired result. And if you do, great, you know the number. If you haven't gotten the desired result, then you go back and let them lick the ball some more. That's just how it is. Another problem, and one of the reasons that this exists is to help with things like joint pain. There was a lot of dogs that were having car sickness because of anxiety. Obviously, anxiety of fireworks, anxiety of new experiences. There's a lot of dogs that just genetically are fearful and have a lower self-esteem. And products like this, I mean, ours, obviously, really help them come out of their shell. And once they come out of their shell and have those experiences, our goal is that you don't need this for the rest of your life. Obviously, if it provides the results that your dog wants and makes him happier, then obviously this is a very all natural. I mean, talk about giving this to your pets as opposed to some type of medication that they usually have side effects. Doesn't mean they're bad. It just means the side effects could are we masking something or are we actually addressing a problem? And so for our product, for Zen Buddy, the product that I helped create, again, I wanted to make sure that I teamed up with the best people in the business. So 1440 Processing is right here in Oklahoma. Now, one of the things that I want to, so teamed up with two people, 1440 and also Scars and Stripes. Scars and Stripes is an organization that provides jobs. It helps veterans raise money for themselves, supports veterans. So this can be purchased online through the Scars and Stripes website. So I just have to get that out there because that obviously is a great organization that I'm loving supporting. So one of the other things that I want to say about this product is, again, if your dog doesn't like the rollerball application, we have the dropper. And all the instructions are on the bottles. I mean, all the certifications are on here. Obviously, I love that, if you want to go ahead and give it a lick, because, we know that you wanna. But let's talk for a second about the other products out on the market and how it's different. So I mentioned in the beginning that this is an isolate. So the full spectrum, the broad spectrum, very earthy. That's why a lot of those dogs, you try to take that dropper and put it in their mouth, and they're just like, no, I don't want that. It's so nasty. I don't want it. Where this, so much more clean, then we're able to add the natural flavoring. So right now we have the bacon flavor, we have the roast beef flavor for small, medium, and large dogs. But one of the things that, for me, that is very important is, how does it stack up against the competition, right? How does it stack up against the competition? So I went out and I looked at the competition, like milligrams per bottle, broad spectrum versus full spectrum versus isolates. What's out there? What are they charging? And what I realized is that our price point on this is so much lower than everybody else's. And when I talked to the manufacturers, I was like, but I'm worried they're not going to think our product is as good because our price is so much lower. And they said, well, it's so much lower because we're able to take the savings to the consumer. And here's how they're able to do that. Because I teamed up with a certified facility that they're doing human CBD products, right? So this is a human grade CBD product. You can lick the balls on here if you want. You can. It feels so weird to say that, but you can if you want. But the thing is because they're doing human grade, we can purchase it in bulk, which brings the price down, add the natural pet flavoring to the pet line, right? And skip the middleman and take it right to the consumer. So there's not all these other hands in this. So that's how we can deliver 1,800 milligrams for almost half the price of what other competitors are selling 1,000 milligrams of active CBD for. And it's cleaner, and it doesn't have the bitter taste, and we have the natural flavoring, and we have the rollerball applicator that no other, it's about to happen, right? Because we can't patent that, because I think like 20, 30, 40 years ago, this was a deodorant, that you wiped under your armpit. You could use that for this if you want, and if you want your armpit to smell like bacon, or maybe roast beef. I don't know, whatever floats your boat. But that's one of the reasons that we can bring that savings to you as the consumer, right? That's what makes this so awesome. So anyway, all that to say, so excited to get this out there, especially, right around the 4th of July. You need to get your bottle. Again, I use it with my own pets. They try to actually eat the bottle. They like it so much. So I got to tell them, hey guys, back off a little bit, back off. But if your dog doesn't like that or can't figure that out, obviously, we have the droppers for you. If you're trying to teach your dog to use this, a little quick trick is to take a little peanut butter and wipe it right on the side there, and then your dog will lick the peanut butter and get those licks. Another thing you can do is you can take it and you can roll it on the inside of your dog bowl. But I promise you, there's no doubt your dog is going to like one of these for sure. I guarantee it. It does work. For the last year and a half, we were giving these away. People in our, by private clients, people in our classes, we were giving these suckers away because I wanted the feedback. If I'm not getting good feedback, I'm not going to put my name on it or get behind it. And it works. It works. It really, really does.